Let's now talk about all of the individual cues that you should track as we get into this trading session. Our research team is here with the trade setup. Mangalam, Abhishek and Vivek all join me now. Guys, a very good morning to all of you. Vivek, let me come to you first. There's so much going on, whether it's globally or domestically. Run us through what are the key points to track today.
Well, absolutely right. As you mentioned, quite a lot of news flow that we've highlighted at the start of the show. So US markets ended quite mixed. European markets too followed suit, ending quite mixed. Yesterday, crude oil prices actually saw a bit of a gain, and that'll be something to keep an eye out for. Brent futures gained over 0.5%, now trading closer to the $76 a barrel mark. Now, when you're coming to the Indian markets, how are these cues affecting our own markets? Yesterday, Indian markets actually gained, and it was on the back of the fact that IT stocks as well as the entire Adani Group stocks saw quite a bit of a lift up in the session yesterday. On the other hand, Nifty Bank actually underperformed after a while. Broader end of the market moved in tandem with the Nifty and actually saw a bit of an up move. Now, today, what are the important cues to watch out for? Remember, we're winding down towards the end of the results season. Quite a few numbers, but most of them are, not in the Nifty or towards the broader end of the market. So, result reactions today from BPCL, Steel Cement, important to track. Earnings today, some important names like Ashok Leyland as well as Dixon Technologies would be reporting their earnings. Asian markets, mixed start. LGX Nifty indicating a slightly positive start for our own markets.
Okay, slightly positive start. We're around 28 points in the green for the SGX Nifty. Vivek, thanks a lot for that. Let's now hand it over to Abhishek, who's going to take us through the entire list of stocks that we should watch for. And Abhishek, it is a long one.
Well, it is a long list. To start with, Vedanta board has approved a dividend of 18.5 per share. This worth amount-wise about 6,877 crore. The record date is May 30th. So, JSW Steel, they are implementing the resolution plan of National Steel and Agro Industries Limited under IBC. The deal size is worth 621 crores. Results-wise, Shree Cement is in focus. Their results on EBITDA front is a miss. EBITDA came in at 893 crore. We were working with a poll of 932 crores. So margins saw a decline to 18.7% when compared to poll of 20.3%. HEG, the revenue is down 8% YOY, EBITDA is down 21% YOY, and the margin has also declined by 220 basis points on a YOY basis. Camden Fine Sciences, the net profit is down YOY by more than 39% despite the fact that revenue is up nearly 9.5% on a YOY basis. Now, PB Fintech, the net losses have come down to 8.9 crore when compared to nearly 220 crore in the same quarter last year. The revenue is up 61% over there. EIH Limited, the net profit has come in at 84 crore when compared to 14.8 crore in the same quarter last year, and the revenue has more than doubled to 637 crore when compared to 301 crore in the same quarter last year. Fusion MFI, the AUM growth is pretty robust over there, 37% YOY and about 7.5% sequentially. The net interest margin has expanded both YOY and quarter on quarter. Indiabulls Housing, their stress asset or the gross NP ratio is perhaps the lowest that you are seeing in last 6 quarters. It has come in at 2.86% when compared to 3.3% in the previous quarter. The AUM growth on a sequential basis is pretty robust at more than 11%. Back to you.
All right, Abhishek, thanks a lot for taking us through that entire list. We're going to watch for all of these in today's session. And finally, it's over to Mangalam, who's looking at all of the cues from the futures and options space. Mangalam, it was quite a good start of the week, right? Barring maybe a little bit of pressure in the banks.
Yes, it was a good start to the week. In fact, if you just take a look at the key indices yesterday, the Nifty ended over 100 points, 18,300 was conquered. And this despite the weakness in the Nifty bank. And that's because of the IT index. In fact, we pointed that out yesterday as well. The Nasdaq's outperformance could do well for our IT index. In the last 2 sessions, the IT index is up nearly 4%. And that's an index I'll be watching out for today as well. FIs are back in the cash market, so that's a relief. Both the FIs and the DIs bought in the cash market yesterday. The net institutional flow was close to around 1,500 crores. In index futures, well, the net buy was just 39 crores. Here's where the crux of the data is. If you look at the details that the NSE has given, they bought 676 crores in the Nifty futures, whereas they sold 637 crore in Nifty bank futures, and that's explaining the sort of weakness that we're seeing in the Nifty bank itself. In index futures, they added 6,200 longs, presumably all of them on the Nifty, whereas they added around 4,600 shorts on the Nifty bank, as a result of which their long-short ratio at 48.52 remains virtually unchanged. They bought more calls than puts. So any sort of up move beyond that 18,350, 18,400 would lead to a further short covering, as we did see in yesterday's trading session beyond 18,200. So let's see what happens out there. But at the same time, we saw some call selling at 18,300, 18,400 as well, telling you that if the previous resistance holds on, then we may go back lower as well. It's Nifty weekly options expiry today. The Nifty bank was weak, so let's see how the financials pan out in today's trading session. And also, let's take a look at the active options. Yesterday, the up move was led by short covering in the 18,200 call writers. They were caught on the wrong side, but we did see further writing in 18,200 put and 18,300 put. And were the markets to go ahead and cross the previous week's resistance, we will perhaps see a bigger move, and that's where the call buyers have been active. So 18,500 call comes up for you. Punt buying for about 11 rupees a pop. Levels to watch out for on the Nifty on the way down. 20-day moving average, important support. And the recent high of 18,459 is an important resistance.
All right, Mangalam, thanks a lot for running us through all of those cues from the futures and options space as well. With that, it is time for our first short break on the show. But when we come back, we're going to bring you an important story. The RBI top brass met with the board of directors of public sector banks. We're going to bring you the details in just a bit.